What's good, Illumineers? My Lorcana fam out there. Aquaman here with another video for you guys. Today's video, we have a deck profile on a deck I took this weekend. And top 8 a Archazia'S Island case Tourney. So same thing. I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet. And then after the deck profile, I've also gotten a few comments back in my other deck profile videos that you guys wanted me to do at least like nothing crazy, but just a run through on like my mulligans for the deck. So I'm gonna do that at the end of the video if you guys want to watch that. Yeah, so Ruby Sapphire, especially Sapphire Steel, gonna be a damn problem. It's gonna be a menace in this format. Decks are crazy, but yeah. So obviously this tourney we were allowed to do and have Archazia'S Island cards in the deck, but yeah, I couldn't get any of the new cards, so Mufasa and I rolled out with what we got here. So here we go for the deck profile. Standard 4 Cindy's. What can I say? Cindy's good, but damn, that new bell. I'm telling you guys, that new bell's too good. But we still got our Cindy's for Amber Steel, so 4 Daisy Duck to just play aggressively, because this is lower to the ground, so we need to get those questing powers quick. One of the best 2 drops in the game. Well, it's still one of the best, but nowadays, like with that new bell, damn, like it checks. The new bell checks our freaking, quick aggressive lore counts, because she checks freaking Shmi now, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, it definitely slows us down a little bit, dropping that bell turn 1. So, but Shmi's still good. I'm still at 4 Piglet. He's a captain. Helps Shmi out, and it's nice to sneak in 3 lures with Piglet if we're able to. A lot of the time he just gets sniped out, so I do ink him a lot, depending on the matchup. I'm still at 4 Calhoun's. Calhoun's still good. Yeah, definitely with the new cards I'm gonna put in here. I'll probably drop her to 3 for more space, but 4 Calhoun's did all right. Another 4 Obs, one of our good draw engines here, Doc. I'm still at 4 Lilo because of this Ruby matchups. I think I only played 1 Ruby Amethyst that day, and Lilo did what she was supposed to do. And we're lower to the ground, so we quest hard, and then we wait till that turn 7 B prep. If we don't have Mufasa, play down your Lilos, so when they do B prep, you can play Lilo on your follow-up turn. 4 Lawrence's. Lawrence is still good. 4/4 body with no damage that could just crash into things and help damage out some of the locations if needed, if you guys have location matchups. But it's just nice to hit Lawrence, and then pop up with Rapunzel to follow-up turn. So Lawrence is still good. Another good one here. Pete will stay at 4, especially with nowadays with the shenanigans. So yeah, it just helps big time, freezing up your opponent. I'm still at 2 John Silver. Actually he won me a game. It was pretty badass. I was at 16 lore. I think I had two characters that were Oh no, it was a Pluto, and I think it was a Shmi or a Lilo, and then I had a Mufasa. But I had 16 lures, and I was playing a purple steel, so amethyst steel. He had his character run into the Mufasa. Oh, he had a character and then a fox on board. So he had his character run into the Mufasa, thinking that his fox would crash into the Mufasa. So that would leave me with only 19 lures next turn, because it'd be the Lilo and the Pluto. But Mufasa flipped John Silver, and I was able to hit his skill off and cancel the Fox's challenge. So that was exactly 20 right there. So that was a cool way to win. Mufasa only whiffed out on me once in that tourney, which is okay. That's okay. He can't always be, you know, winning for me. Song packages still the same. 4 Let the Storm Rage On. Good starter with Cindy. And then Strength of Raging Fire to get rid of the bigger characters. Since we're lower to the ground, we can go wider. Stack up those Strength of Raging Fire. I'm still at 2 Svens. He still helps out. Helping, you know, Piglet survive. And readying up my Piglets. And also does help with Shmi. After questing with Shmi, you can ready up Shmi so he doesn't take any damage. 4 Pluto. Pluto still does work. Pluto's still an absolute house. Being a 5/5 bodyguard that basically trades off with anything. And you have to do almost like 2 things to get rid of them. So, stuck with 4 Plutos. Of course, you can't run Amber Steel without Rapunzel's, our main draw engine, and one of our big questers here. So, everyone knows Rapunzel. And, of course, you guys know my main boy, Mufasa. Same deal, always puts in work. And, yeah, everyone knows Mufasa. So, all right, that's the deck profile, the top 8 case tourney. So, I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up and do a few Mulligan stuff of at least what I do. I'm pretty sure some players do things differently, which is cool. That's what card games are. Like, we can't be all doing the same things. So, all right. Hopefully this is mixed up enough. Usually it's not super mixed up when I put it in order, and I'm just mixing it like this. So we'll just see how we do here. All right. Okay, I think this is good enough. We'll do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more. There you go. Cut the deck. All right. So let's just say we're going in blind on this one. We don't know what we're playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's see. If we're going in blind, obviously, I think we're going to be taking... We got turn 1, turn 2. We do have the dock, but me personally, I wouldn't keep the dock because that's 2 uninkables already. I know we run good at like 4 inks, 5 inks, so on the lower side, but for me, I'm trying to maybe grab like a Rapunzel and like a good 3 drop. So I would probably drop these 5 because we have a good turn 1 and turn 2 here. So we'll put these cards back and then see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we didn't get the Rapunzel. But we got our turn 1, turn 2, And then depending on the matchup, we either turn 3 Pete, or maybe just go aggressive with Piglet. But if we're going in blind, obviously that would be our ideal turn 1, turn 2 drop. So, all right. Yeah. All right. So we'll do another one. We're doing it around here. Let's say we're going against a slower control matchup. So we're going against a slower deck. We know the matchup now, so we'll see. So this one, we're not going in blind. We know the matchup. Let's say it's a slower deck we're playing against. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a good start right there. If we know we're playing against a slower deck, we want to start out fast. So we're definitely keeping the Daisy. And knowing that we are playing against a slower deck, we're not going to need Calhoun more than likely, because they're probably not going to have any characters. Right off the bat, we're not gonna need Mufasa right now because he's later on in the game. So right now, and then we do have Doc. I'll probably, because we have a turn 1, turn 2, I think. Because we need the draw engine. So I think for me, at this point, I might just risk it for the biscuit and go hard mulligan and try to get a Shmi for turn 2. Maybe keep the Lawrence. For sure, these are gone. The only reason I'm wanting to keep the Doc is for draws, but we do run 4, and it's gonna suck if you do grab another Doc. So for me, I would probably hard mulligan and try to grab at least Rapunzel for draws and Shmi for turn 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 for sure. I'm just hesitant on Lawrence because he is a good 3-drop. So I would probably, because I don't want to miss the Shmi. So for sure we're putting these 5 back. I think I'm gonna keep the Lawrence. So we'll put 5 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So yeah, at least we got our turn 1. We got our turn 2, which is, this Piglet's awesome. Turn 2 against slower decks. And then we could probably just ink the other Piglet and then go Lawrence. Turn 3. I mean, let's see what we draw though. All right, so we're definitely inking a Lawrence for this. And now let's see our draws. We got a Cindy, so we're definitely inking the Cindy for that. See our follow-up draw. Perfect. So especially if we're on the draw, that was actually a really good draw. If not, we're on draw. If we're on a play, that top deck was awesome. Because we were already swinging with Daisy in the beginning. And then now, I would actually probably ink out the Lawrence, because Normally they would probably have like Maui's on their follow-ups. So I want to save up the Pluto on that turn. So this is actually really good because you can play the Pete, and then now you can quest with these. Hopefully Daisy hits an action, but unless they have like an ice block or little Sisu, Piglet's gonna be questing again next turn because they can't brawl Piglet now. So that was a good top deck right there. So you go turn 3 Pete, quest with these two. More than likely they're probably just gonna, they can't even ramp up because nowadays they don't use Fishbone Quill. So more than likely they'll probably just maybe play a Hiram or something to or Tipo to ramp up, but probably Hiram, or maybe playing another item. But whatever it is, you're gonna be able to quest with these two again next turn because of Pete, because they're not able to touch Piglet unless they have the ice block and little Sisu combo. So your follow-up turn, see your draw. Ugh. In all honesty, I would probably keep this one, because if they have a Maui turn and they have a character, if you play your Pluto, they might just crash their other character in the Pluto and then grab the Maui and then trash the Pluto. So we do need some type of follow-up to answer the Maui. So I probably won't ink that. I'd probably just ink the Piglet, quest out with these, and then just bodyguard. And then their follow-up turn, they'll probably have like a Maui or something, or maybe a Brawl. But either way, they're only going to be able to do like one action for that turn because they don't have enough ink yet. So they're either gonna play the Maui down, or they're gonna have to brawl the Piglet, or have their character attack this. Then Maui trashes it, which gives Maui's a 6/5, right? So 1 damage. So your follow-up turn, draw, play the Rapunzel, and then sing, kill Maui, and then just quest with these. So but at that time, being able to quest with Piglet like 2 to 3 times, you should be at that point where your opponent's basically backed in a corner and pressured now to be answering your board. So at that point, you're just drawing cards to just play cards, and then your opponent has to keep answering the board. But yeah, so that's kind of the all right, let's do one more mulligan. Let's say we know the matchup, and it's an aggro matchup, okay? The deck's a little bit more faster that you're playing against. Maybe it's a little bit more lower to the ground, you know, a very aggressive or close to hyper aggro decks. So let's say that's what we're playing against. So we'll do one last mulligan here to show you guys what I would do. Remember, what I do is not the be-all, end-all. You guys have your own play style. You guys have your own minds. Play what you think is right at that moment. So, what I've told a few players back was, how I play is, I obviously assess the situation, the board state, and what's happening. But I go with my gut feeling, depending on what the state of the game is. So what if my gut feeling says like, oh, this is the best course of action for right now, I usually go with that. Because at the end of the day, if you hesitate and you don't go with your gut feeling and it goes wrong, it for me at least, it feels horrible. Like you're like, shit, I should have just gone with the other, play, or the other line. So for me, when I have my gut feeling and I think this is the right play, I usually just go with that. I try not to overthink like, oh, what if he has this, he has that. Yes, you can do it that way sometimes, but you don't want to overthink too much because you start jumbling and you might fuck up your lines because you're overthinking now. So just assess the board and deal with what is happening right now, and do the best play you can do right now. You know, it's a trading card game, so anything can happen. They can have certain cards, and there's always what ifs, but for me, I just go with, if I think this is what the right play is right now, I'm going to play it. And if they have an answer for it, like, I don't feel bad at all, because, okay, they did have the answer for it, but at that moment, that was the right play, and they just had the answer for it. They had the card for it, or whatever it is. And going with your gut feeling, to me at least, I never feel bad or feel any regrets if it gets answered, or, you know, it doesn't work out. The only time back, you know, in the past where I regret my decisions and stuff like that didn't work out is if I didn't follow my gut feeling, and I got stuck in the what if limbo, and then I just go to another route, and then it doesn't work out. Yeah, that's the worst feeling. That's a regretful feeling. But if you guys just follow your gut feeling, and you'll never regret it. Whether, you know, it gets answered or it doesn't go your way. At least for me, it doesn't feel bad at all. And if you're right, it feels even better, because you listen to your gut feeling. So that's the number one lesson I'm gonna tell you guys. Just assess the board, and then follow your gut feeling of what you think the right play is at that time. Because everyone and anyone can do the what ifs game. It's a trading card game. We don't know what they have in their hand. So playing the what if games, you're gonna hesitate. So all right, anyway, so this Mulligan's playing against an aggressive, faster deck, maybe hyper aggro, or a pretty aggressive deck. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that. Selling my masterclass on how to grab 7 cards right off the bat. Okay, so, well, we're definitely, so for me, if I know I'm playing against an aggressive deck, they're going to have lower characters, or lower strength characters that can quest. So I'm already going to keep at least these 3 right here. I know Lawrence is a good turn 3 drop, but if I'm playing against, you know, aggressive questers, it would be nice to drop Cindy and then follow up with Calhoun while singing, you know, doing 2 damage to whatever character. Usually lower characters have like 1 to 2 willpowers. So if I know I'm playing against an aggressive, faster decks, I would keep this. So we can fire up the strength and kill something instantly, and then you drop Calhoun. So turn 1, and then turn 2, drop Calhoun, and then fire up the strength to do 2 damage on one of their questers. And then now you have Calhoun sitting there as a wall, because yes, they're probably going to quest anyways, because that's what aggros do. But then now you have Calhouns to eat up their characters while you're keeping up with their lower count with Calhoun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these 2, and then drop these 4. So let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, this is actually pretty dang good in my opinion. So let's mix this up. At least we got the Rapunzel for draws. Okay, so right here, we got double Calhouns, which is awesome against faster aggro decks. So this is definitely going to be our turn 1 play here. And then we're going to ink. We're probably just going to ink Pluto, because we have Calhouns and Pete's to run into their characters. And I like Rapunzel being in hand just in case we do need to draw. So we'll probably ink the Pluto here, because more than likely we're not going to need the bodyguard against faster aggro decks. They're not going to waste their time running into our characters. So we'll just do that. And then our next turn here, we're gonna ink the piglets. Against aggros, we gotta control the board, so play the Calhoun for 2, and then snipe out one of their 2s. Or it depends too, like if they have a, well, usually maybe their early drop bodyguard Calhoun can handle anyway, so yeah, just to slow them down, probably snipe out one of their high questers and pass turn. Yes, you have 3 cards in hand, but they're probably gonna have low cards in hand too. All you're doing is trying to answer their board and try to keep up with the lore. And Calhoun's perfect for that. So they're probably just gonna quest out. If they don't quest out for some reason, even better for us, because that means we disrupted their pace and they slowed their pace down. We got another song. At this point, oof. Yeah, I would probably do that because we need characters on board. Probably. Wait, no, actually. I would probably do this. Depending on the board state. If they have bodyguards. If they don't have bodyguards, I'll probably ink this. If they do have bodyguards, I'd probably ink the Pete and play another Calhoun. And then trash their bodyguard and then run over one of their characters again with Calhoun. That would be my turn. But yeah, at this point we're doing pretty good with board control while keeping up with their pace. We have 1 card in hand, but more than likely they're gonna, and we picked up a daisy, so yeah. At this point, I'm gonna keep the Rapunzel in hand and just play the daisy for 1. And then now we can control the board with Calhouns or quest, because more than likely with aggro decks, they are not gonna have anything big to take care of Calhoun. So now we have a quester on our side. You can even quest with Calhouns now and Cindy, since we don't have any more songs. And then we'll just run 1 more turn here and see what happens. Perfect. So at this point, depending on the situation, on how far or how high the lore counts are, if we're both close, might as well push and just go for Lawrence here. But if we need resources somehow, maybe just crash Daisy or Cindy into one of their guys, and then ink, deal out the Daisy for maybe 1 or 2 damage. Let's say 1 damage, we got a Cindy. Or, like I said, if you just want to push, drop a big character this turn and just save up the Rapunzel, and just go ahead and maybe quest out with these 2, and then maybe answer a couple or answer 1, and then just quest out with this. It's gonna be a hard turn for an aggressive aggro deck to deal with double Calhouns, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, so there's some of the Mulligan stuff against you know, those matchups. Hopefully that helped a little bit, but shows you guys what I mulligan depending on the matchups, or if I'm going in blind. More than likely though, if you are going in blind, your ideal setup, honestly, where is it? I've seen it before where when people go blind, when they're going in blind, well, let's just pick 2 random ones right here. People tend to keep the daisies. I've seen it happen before because they like the 1 drop. To me, if I'm going in blind, my ideal hand is this right here. So we have a turn 1, and then we have a turn 2, and then we have a storm, and then we have our draws here. So I'll probably put back these cards. Okay. And then I'll draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And perfect. Now we got a bodyguard too. So yeah. So we go turn 1. If they got a small character, don't ink anything yet, guys. Sing your song first and see what you get. 2 damage, draw a card. Oh, perfect. Jesus, perfect. Now we got a nice turn 3. At this point, I'm gonna keep this just in case you know, they do have bigger characters or they have evasives we need to take care of. So I'm probably just gonna ink the Piglet here and then play the Shmi. And we're not too worried about Shmi being damaged because we have Rapunzel to heal Shmi to draw 2 cards, or draw a card or 2 if needed. But yeah, and then turn 3 plays Lawrence, which is very strong. And then depending on the setup or the circumstance, you could just, yeah, you could go Rapunzel to draw cards, or you can just quest out and then drop your bodyguard. There you go. So there you go. That is that. That is the ideal mulligan for me, at least. Is these are the big 3 right here. If you're going in blind, this is the 3 ideal cards I like to have. Even if I know my matchup, like this would be good. Even with aggro matchups, because you could still smack Shmi into a smaller character. All right, guys. So that's that. Sorry if that went too long. Well, if you guys like my contents, like my videos, please like and subscribe. If you guys don't and still watch it, you know, it's still all good. I appreciate you guys. Well, that is my Mufasa top 8 case tourney, Archazia'S Island. I'm definitely updating this. I got my new cards, and I have been messing around with Amber Steel. It's gonna be called Bolt Mufasa, so hopefully that works out. I'm testing it and it's doing decent. But that Sapphire Steel deck, guys, is a damn menace. Like, I don't know, man. I agree with, I'm not like a crazy Emerald player. I am playing a little bit of an Emerald Sapphire too, because I think it's fun. But, you know, some of these hardcore Emerald players from Bucky back in the day are saying, you know, it's like, man, you guys banned Bucky, or, well, you basically banned Bucky because you made him unplayable. But then, you know, you make these Tamatoas and Bells, which I kind of agree with, because it's kind of busted, man. It's freaking crazy. Like, I can't believe, like, that, I don't know why they made that Tamatoa inkable. They should have just kept all the skills and what it does, but made it uninkable, in my opinion. And on top of that, you have Belle, which is basically a freebie when you're playing item deck. But yeah, the Sapphire Steel deck right now is nuts, guys. So I am entering a 5K tourney in a couple weeks, so we'll see what I take. More than likely, it's probably going to be Mufasa. But if I feel comfortable with my Emerald Sapphire, we're probably going to roll with that. So, all right, till next time, guys. Thank you again.